Today was a very good day on NQ. I have 5 trades here. I'm going to recap for you trading pretty much the Powell model. It's not necessarily the 10 a.m. model, but it is the rejection blocks, that kind of thing. But I don't want to waste any of your time, so let's jump straight into this video. Hopefully you guys learned something very valuable from this. Okay, so here you can see chart looks a little bit wild. We have another trade up here as well behind the cam. But let's jump straight into it, okay? I'm just going to start on the daily time frame. I'm going to hide most of these drawings here for now because we don't really need to see them. On the daily time frame, we can clearly see we've been bullish, right? We do have a no-wick candle down here, which is something to think about, but we've been bullish, right? And ES is trading at all-time highs. So it's basically all-time high PA. So we're pretty much looking for longs the majority of the time, right? We have this daily fair value gap right in here, which actually the midpoint of it was the bottom of today's PA, at least so far. And we have another daily gap down here, but this one is the one we were looking at when market opened. And yeah, so we touch the midpoint and we go higher. Based on PXL, PXH, we were bearish to the previous day low because we swept out the previous day high, got to close back down inside the range, so we would want to see this get taken out, which we clearly had already done. On the 4-hour time frame, we were trading inside of this bullish fair value gap as well. It's not necessarily the midpoint, but pretty close to it. But again, this is the midpoint of the daily gap, almost bottom tick. Now, one thing I was looking at here was the Fibonacci from the high to, or from the low to the high up here. The midpoint was right here, aligning with this 4-hour gap and daily gap. So I kind of was looking for us to tap this 50% and then continue higher. We didn't do that. We just did the midpoint of the overall gap, which is okay. Now on the hourly time frame, there really wasn't much here. We had a gap right here. But again, we were looking at the daily gap more so and the 4-hour, so not a lot. We did have this 1-hour order block right here, which pretty much got absolutely bottom ticked. So that's beautiful as well. It may have actually got bottom ticked. No, I think we front ran it by just like a couple points right here. Or it did tick. Depends on if you mark it from the wick or the body. I personally did the body, and the body got front ran. But either way, we had reasons to be long bias. Now, if we go into the 15, you'll see why I was actually long bias is because we have all of this LR. Now, if you don't know what LR is, it's low resistance liquidity run. Okay. Now, what makes it low resistance is there's like no fair value gaps in here. So even on the hourly, there's really no fair value gaps. There's this one here, which we've already mitigated and respected, but all of this here is low resistance because there's no fair value gaps. It's just wicks. It's like a trend line liquidity. So we want to see that get ran. It's very easy for price to run that, and that's exactly what happened here. So going into the day, I was a little bit bearish. I wanted to see more of that gap filled, and that's exactly what happened. And then I flipped to bullish, right? So let me turn on some of these drawings here. You can see we have this daily gap here. If we turn on this midpoint, you'll see absolute bottom tick right there. I actually know somebody that took this trade, just boom, limited that, and they're up like 24K right now. Pretty insane. But other than that, the very first trade comes right here on market open. We have this 15-minute gap, okay? And let me just put this, boom, 15-minute. Turn off that midpoint, don't really need it. Cool. So we have this 15-minute gap, and price off rip tops into this gap. And we get a nice sell-off. So let me hide this for now. Actually, here, let me hide all of these. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So now it's a lot easier to see, right? So price came up and we tapped into this 15-minute gap right here. We respected it with a nice 36-point wick. And then at the time, this candle was still developing, but if you pull the Fibonacci from here to here, it was like literally right here. And so the 705 aligned perfectly with the midpoint of the wick. So you could have just limited that right there. Boom. Got entered, targeted a simple 1 to 5. It ran even further though. It did run to a 1 to 6.2, but I would have just done a 1 to 5 and you're out in literally 2 candles and bang, there's your first trade. And again, the reason we were bearish is because we wanted to see more of those gaps get filled. We wanted to see 50% of the leg up get tapped. And yeah, we were respecting this bearish 15-minute gap. And so yeah, it's a pretty good trade right there. That would be trade number 1. Okay, I did not take that trade. I'll tell you guys the trades that I did take, but I just tape read all these others that I didn't take. So tape read this, didn't take it. Let's see what's next. This one, yep. So this one is next, and here, basically, we're inside of this daily gap. Now we have tapped this midpoint, so definitely eligible for a reversal here. Now, if you just look at the 5 minute, literally it's just a 5 minute rejection block. So bang, this is the rejection block right here. So we just put our stop loss just below it, which makes it 50 points. Not ideal, pretty big, but since we were bullish to seeing all of this low resistance liquidity get ran, if you target midnight open, it's still a 1 to 5. So valid trade here. I didn't take this one either because the stop loss was way too big. But yeah, valid trade right here. You can see it played out perfectly. Okay. Now, if you were in this trade or if you missed this trade, there was another trade, which I did not see this at the time, but I saw it after it was already playing out. But you can see we have this 5 minute gap right here. So if you're looking for continuations, sorry, let me get this part off. If you're looking for continuations, we tap into this gap here. We get this nice rejection block right here. 5 min RB, boom, midpoint. So now you can see easily entry on that. Let's see if it was actually... No, so yeah, 786 aligned. So you could have just taken this, boom, limit here, stop loss at the low. I saw other people take this as well, but a 15-point stop loss and target midnight open, it's still a 1 to 5. So very valid trade there as well. So there's trade number 2. Let me see, did I already have this one on here? Cancel that. Let's see, I think I do, right? Yep. So here's that second trade right there. Limit on the 5 minute RB. So 2 back-to-back 5 minute RBs you could have taken with a long bias. Now, here is the trade I unfortunately did take, and I got stopped out on this trade. So let me just hide this one and this one for now. But you can see we opened and we manipulated higher. We got a 30-point manipulation. If you look on the 5 minute, we do have a 5 minute RB. So we had a 5 minute RB. And I believe we had an SMT with like this high here on the 15-minute time frame. So we had an SMT. We'd already taken out a lot of this LR. And just overnight, you can see how bearish we had been. So if you're looking for continuation shorts, this wasn't a bad look in my opinion. I just limited the 5 minute RB. Shorting down towards. Also, another reason I liked this trade was because we had this 15-minute unfilled gap right here. At the time, this one wasn't created yet. We were creating it, but this one here was untapped. So I was kind of hoping price would want to come down and at least tap this gap and then continue higher if it wanted to go higher. But at least I wanted to see us tap in to what was this 5 minute rejection block right here and get a nice move back down into this 15-minute gap. But we didn't get that, unfortunately, so we got stopped out on this trade here. But again, let's imagine we had taken all of these trades, right? You would be up, let's see, 5R, another 5R, so you're up 10R, another 5R, so you're at 15R, and then -1. So you're still at 14R on the day if you took all these trades. Clearly, I did not, but I'm just kind of showing you how it plays out. So one losing trade doesn't matter too much. But this is the first trade I did take, okay? Now, the next trade I took was this long here. Let me see. Where's the damn tool? No. Right here, maybe? Bang. So it's this one. So we front ran this 4-hour fair value gap up here. And we also, at the same time, have this high here. So to me, this looks like relative equal highs with a target of the 4-hour gap up here. So what we did is, zoom in here. We retraced down into this 5 minute fair value gap and tapped midnight open as well as the daily open. So let me just mark out this 5 minute gap so it's easier to see. Here we go, border, boom, 5 minute gap. Okay, now on the 1 minute time frame here, could have taken this one, but I didn't like it. This wasn't a great reaction whenever we got this big wick and closed down here, so I waited until this next one. Then I limited the 705 of this leg up once we actually started seeing good rejection. and got entered right here on this 1 minute rejection block out of this 5 minute gap and midnight open. And I targeted the 4 hour gap as well as just this internal high right here for 5.6 risk to reward trade. Price ran to a 4.69 and then reversed and stopped me out break even. So super frustrating. We take one loss, then we are very close, like 15 points away from our TP, and we get stopped out break even. Holy shit, sorry. And so very frustrating. And then it looked like price was just gonna run straight to our TP. It didn't. Resweep, almost get a tap of 10 a.m. and then now we are about to hit that gap, which was my target. So unfortunate day for me, very frustrating, but there is how many trades? There's one. Boom. So a ton of trades right here you could have taken, right? Literally one all the way down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 valid trades in my opinion. Yeah, unfortunate day for your boy here, but red price action pretty damn well in my opinion. Not too much to be mad about here. Just very unfortunate and super frustrating. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Trying to keep it a little bit short so you guys don't have to sit here and watch a super long recap or anything. But you can see how these rejection blocks aligned with context are just very, very good. So hopefully you guys are seeing that. Even if you get stopped out on a couple of these trades, the other trades are high enough RR that you can still be profitable. So it just is about surviving the losses. And yeah, so hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions, or drop the trades that you guys took as well. And please drop a like on the video. It helps me out a lot. We're trying to hit 500 subs. But I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.